Good afternoon, everybody. This is our Civilized Eyes Podcast for the date of September 26th, 2021. I'm your co-host, Cabriel Bruce. Darren.
And I am also your host, Darian Tucker. Back to you, Cable.
And we're on here tonight and we'll be talking to two young ladies. We have some special guests on our podcast tonight, two young ladies, and they'll be talking about how is it growing up with parents of a disability, how it feels and how life is growing up with parents who are blind or in a wheelchair or have a challenge. And we'll get them on here tonight, and we're going to speak with them and let you know that it's a side, not only from the parent side, but from the children's side. And we will get to them after Darian give us our announcements for today.
All right. So the announcements are we have a few events coming up that you may want to be informed about and want to attend. So, but before I do that, I'm gonna just recap on the event that we had yesterday in Troup County. Uh, at the Cannon Street Elementary School, we had a national something we call National Disability Voter Registration Week, in which and where all of the community comes together and try to inform and bring awareness to the community about things that impact a disabled voter. We had about 20 people, 20 to 30 people there, catering and everything like that. It was a very great event. Um, the upcoming events is coming Tuesday. Lee Jones at the Calumet Park, her nonprofit organization to inspire positivity. It's going to start at 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. We also have Tuesday with Toodle, which is a virtual event on Zoom. It begins at 6:30 p.m. And if you need more, the links to Tuesday with Toodle or the address to the Calumet Park event in LaGrange, email me at Darian DERREANTUCI931 at gmail.com. All right, that's it for the announcements. Back to you, Cabra.
Okay, thank you, Darian, for those announcements, and we hope that you all take heed to those announcements, and we look forward to seeing you at any upcoming event. Now, tonight we have, like I said, some special guests on here tonight. Two young ladies. How you doing this afternoon, young ladies?
I'm good.
Good.
Doing good. Okay, you sounding good, and so we're gonna let you introduce yourself tonight.
I'm Miracle. I'm 15. I'm a 10th grader. I go to LaGrange High School in LaGrange, Georgia. Um, I make music, and you can follow me on Instagram at MILLYY music MUSIC_.
Okay.
My name is Mackenzie. I'm 14. I'm an eighth grader at Garner Newman, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Well,
glad to have you. You
yeah, we're
are.
glad to have you on our podcast tonight, Miracle, and Mackenzie, and y'all are sisters, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, y'all sisters. Y'all ain't twins, are you?
No.
No.
I don't know, but just joking with y'all. But y'all, Miracle and Mackenzie are sisters who have grew up in a household with parents who have disabilities. So, if one of y'all want to tell us about your parents' disabilities.
I will. My dad is blind, and my mom has multiple sclerosis.
Okay, so your dad's blind, and
Yes.
so how long have your dad been blind?
Um, since
All
he
your
was
life?
11,
Oh, okay.
and he 42 now.
Oh, okay. And so, Mackenzie, what about your mom? How long has she had multiple sclerosis?
Um, she had it since 2009, I think.
Okay, so about 12 years.
Yeah.
And so, multiple sclerosis, what usually happens to your mom who has multiple sclerosis, Mackenzie?
Um, she'll have flare ups, and basically when she'll start shaking and she won't be able to move, and some of her functions like shut down. So it's like she'll start shaking and she can't move her legs or something like that.
Okay, so would she have to be in the hospital or be in a
She'll
wheelchair sometime?
she'll have to go to the emergency room, and sometimes yes, she will have to be in a wheelchair.
Oh, okay. And so, Miracle, by your dad being blind, what's usually his routine? We kind of have an idea what blindness is, but your dad is totally blind because we learning that it's different levels to blindness. Some totally blind, some have some vision. So, is your dad totally blind, or does he have some vision? Or
He totally blind. He can't see.
okay, so he's totally blind and don't see anything.
Yes.
So each one of y'all can answer this. When did you first discover that as a child when your parents have a disability, or when's your first memory of either your dad being blind or your mom having flaps?
Um, I can go first.
Okay,
Um, from like being like it was always normal when I was a little kid, and so when school come around and then you have kids and you see they'll be like your dad is blind, he can't see, they'll say stuff like that, or your mom can't walk. So it really just like came to me that my parents are different than everybody else's parents.
okay. So you discovered that your parents were different. So what about for your mom, Mackenzie?
Um, for my mom, I would say when she would have to get rushed to the hospital and things like that, when the ambulance have to come get her, and yeah,
Oh, okay. So you figured out then.
yeah.
So the $1 million question, probably what people would want to ask: how is it growing up in a household with not one parent but two parents with challenges? So tell us about your life as an early age. I'm starting at the point of after you realize your parents, when your dad's blind or your mom is having these issues. So tell me, how did your life, like you said, change, and what was going on in your household or in your life at those times growing up,
Kids, you
Mackenzie?
want to go first?
Well, in the household, it really didn't change because you just got to adapt to it. You just got to get used to it. But outside, you'll get people come up to you. Oh well, that's why your dad can't see. That's why your mom in a wheelchair, and it's like you get comments like that. But it's like you really don't listen at what they say because they don't know what goes on, how good your life is, how bad your life is. But it's really not that hard once you adapt to it. But before you adapt to it, it'll be a little difficult because it's like you got to figure out what you got to do with your mom, what you got to do with your dad, where you got to take your dad. If your mom's in a wheelchair, where you got to roll her around. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, no, we can't go ahead.
Huh?
We can go ahead.
And it's like things like that. So yeah.
Okay, Miracle. Same question.
um Nothing really changed for me because it was like normal to like walk my dad around, help my mom out when she can't do for herself. And yeah.
So I have a question.
Okay.
All right. So uh, how do you both think this having parents with disability will help you better understand those that are not your family members, uh, you know, and be able to more adapt, not to something that's abnormal, but to it's just the difference of a perspective on how they got how we have to do things, but we all do the same things. But how do you think that will help you better understand others with disabilities while you growing up with parents with
Um,
disabilities?
like what you mean by that?
So what I mean, there's oh, someone jumped back in. So what I mean by that, I mean that okay, you see how your father he's blind, right?
Yes.
And your mother she has multiple sclerosis.
Yes.
Okay. And so that kind of your dad he can't see it, but so he has to depend on his feeling and hearing, and your mother she has to be cautious things that will kind of increase her her issue. uh, so the things that we like avoiding, so if you see me, I'm blind. By you growing up with your father, and him being blind, you can better help me. If you see me in the store, oh my father, he's blind. I know how to deal with this. You
Yeah.
know. So do you think that your father being blind helps you deal with other blind that are not your siblings?
Um, yes, because I know how to kind of like guide them and help them. So if I see somebody blind in the store, I ask them like if they're looking for something, if they drop something, I'll pick it up for them. It's just like I know what to do if I see another blind person because my dad is in that same situation. So I don't want to treat them different because they're not.
Right.
And
Okay.
so do you think growing up if that you have seen a difference in the way your parents raised you growing up, or provided for you, or cared for you? Would you say you was very well provided for and cared for?
Yeah, and then I want to say, in comparison with your other peers that you go to school with and friends and things like that, you see any difference?
It's not a difference. I'm probably more well taken care of than some of my other peers. I I can I eat. I got a house, so it's really not. Well, I got a phone and everything, so it's a pretty good life. Nothing really different than other peers,
Hmm.
so it's
Okay.
just normal.
Um, I would say that it's not different. Like Miracle said, I feel like I'm more taken care of than other people because other children come looking some type of way. But my parents, they make sure I got good stuff, good clothes, good everything. Make sure I'm good on everything, got everything I need. But yeah, it's not really different.
So do any of your parents work?
Yes,
Yes,
my dad
our
works.
dad work.
Okay. So tell us about that. How is it growing up with a working dad and blind? So your dad, so you could say that you see your dad get up every day and go to work.
Yeah, he get up every day, go to work, and we pick him up. And sometimes he work 5 days, and so like it's really it's not really different than other parents like who work because my dad blind and he worked too, so it's not really different.
Yeah.
So have
Yeah.
you ever got the question how your dad works? Y'all ever got that question?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
So what
what
y'all
was
usually say? Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I
Go ahead,
used
Darren. I'm
to
sorry.
say like he worked just like everybody else down there. Like he do the same thing that the other people do with sight.
So can you tell me what your can y'all tell me what y'all dad do at work?
He works at Trinidad. Um
Okay.
um
Trinidad is like a it's like a factory. Uh, uh,
yes.
Yeah.
okay.
Production work. I think it's a aluminum
Production work.
foil company.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So your dad works. Is he the only blind person that works there, or is it a company with other blind people? Or
He's the only blind person that works there.
oh, okay.
Mm, mm. Okay. So that just I'm totally blind too, and that just motivates me and encourages me that I still have that opportunities out there for me to work, and the only problem that lies in assuming that people with disability can't work is with those that feel as though uh, they're normal because their eyes have not failed. But see, even though my eyes have failed, I'm still a human being, and I'm normal in wanting to seek and study and want economic health and overall health just like the next man, um, whether they're sighted or not sighted. So this podcast will kind of, you know, bring awareness to those that thinks that those with disability are not normal and they can't do normal things and engage in normal activities. Um, Cabriel?
So is it just you two? Do y'all have other siblings?
We have a
Yeah.
younger brother.
Okay. How's it with your younger brother?
It's um I wouldn't say a challenge, but I would say it's crazy because he's so hyper and he got so much energy and he wanna run around everywhere and stuff like that.
You sure that that's just like him being a boy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having all that energy, he could just be a boy.
Mhm.
So, and I know you spoke earlier about kids in school. So, how was it? Did your parents um, participate in your schooling? Did they come to a lot of your events? Did they make sure um, y'all was active in school? Or are they active parents? Tell us about that.
Yes. They would come to our field days and stuff like when I was in elementary school
Hmm.
and come to like honor day and stuff and anything like open houses and stuff they would come there, meet the teacher. Even if my mom was in the hospital, my dad would still make sure we go and he would come with us and
Oh,
all that stuff.
yeah.
Okay, so you would say you have had active parents. So even despite their challenges, y'all still they still was active in your schooling,
Yes.
correct? And you
Okay.
would say your household pretty normal outside of just having parents with challenging. Y'all still your mom still cooks and still make sure you eat well and make sure you say you have proper clothing, the proper items, and
Yes.
Yes.
so it sounds like everything good.
Yes,
And
it is.
so would you what would you say to skeptics that would say that people who are blind or disabled cannot have kids and shouldn't have kids or should get their kids taken away? What would you say to those people that would start that narrative?
I would say that's not true because you got people, blind people and disabled people can do the same thing sighted people can do, and people without disabilities can do. So it's like everybody's human and everybody is capable to do anything they want.
Right. With
Miracle.
oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Um, disabled people can have kids and they can take care of them because, well, even blind people, because my dad, even when my mom was in the hospital, would make sure we went to school, got on the bus, even if he had to take us to the bus stop, um, and make sure we ate, um, make sure we were okay. So it's not different than anybody without a disability. So people with disabilities can have kids and take care of them by experience.
Hmm. And y'all would say y'all feel safe with y'all parents, don't
Yes.
Yes.
you? Y'all would not want to be with anyone else other than y'all parents.
No.
No.
Okay. And so, just going forward in the future, what advice would you give other kids who are growing up um, with parents who have a disability by y'all experiences?
Um, I would tell them don't be ashamed of their parents. Don't try to hide their parents because it's like even if you do try and hide them, somebody eventually gonna find out what's wrong and if your parents do or don't have a disability. Cause like yeah, but I would tell them don't be ashamed of their parents. Cause people will try and bring you down about your parents and what disabilities your parents got, but you just can't let those people get to you.
Miracle.
Um no matter what your peers say, that's friends in school, anybody, that your parents are normal. They're humans. So you don't, even if they treat them different, you don't have to treat them different because they love you and you love them and it's not really a difference. So don't don't listen to what anybody else say because your parents are normal and they can take care of you and they can make sure you have a good life.
Any funny stories about your parents? What about your dad? You sound like a cool guy. Any funny stories about your dad that you can think of?
Kids, you
Come
got
on,
one?
one. I know y'all
Um,
got one funny story about your dad.
no.
Well, he must be a great guy, huh?
Mm, yeah.
Okay, give me one interesting
Superman.
story about your dad. Give me one interesting fact about your dad.
Well, he likes to play basketball. And
Okay.
one day we were at Granger Park and he was at the free throw line, I want to say. And he was like, I bet y'all I can make this shot. And it took him, the first time he shot it, he missed it. But then the second time, he made it.
In the ram or straight net, right?
Yeah, straight net.
See
I
that?
wonder if it's a
Oh,
video out about that. Think it's a
Mm,
video? Anybody videotape that? That'd be
Yes,
so
and it's on
interesting to
yeah,
see.
it's
TikTok.
on TikTok.
It's on TikTok. Oh, okay. So make sure y'all share that out, and we can see how cool your daddy is hitting this shot. What about your mom? Yeah, the funny stories about your mom, and then
Um, this not really funny, but I think we were at this Halloween thing at a church, and she was trying to do a cakewalk, and she slipped and fell, and so like people were running to make sure she was okay and helping her get up, and it. that was interesting.
Yeah.
So did y'all laugh, fella?
Yes.
Yes, because
It was shocking and it happened so fast.
Mm-hmm.
You just you just didn't know what to do.
So your mom out there trying to cake walking in or hit the floor, huh?
and
Yes.
it's another. I got one about my dad falling in the road, and so he was he was at I think he was crossing the street to take a trash can to our church or something like that, and he fell in the road, and they had to get him up. And then later on that day, my mom fell in the road. So
It's
So
a
your
funny
dad trying to
story,
do a
too.
good deed. He running around moving the trash can over to the church, and he fall on the ground in the churchyard. Did anybody laugh at him?
yes,
Yes.
Mm.
Oh
I'm gonna
man.
tell a funny story. Let me tell the story. The funny story
Okay.
about myself. So I know I was losing vision, and I wore these shades all the time when I went out, and so I would, because the sun be out, and I would put on, I wear them often, but anyway, I'm walking down the sidewalk going to the cafeteria, and inside there's shade, so there's no need to really wear shades. So I get inside. Once I get inside the doorway of the cafeteria, I reach. I put my cane up beside me, and I reach for, to pull my shades off, and all I touched were my eyebrows and my eyelashes and my eyeballs and everything. And I said, "Well, dang, I thought I had on my shades, but that's just how I see." Everything always, kind of shaded. And I laughed at myself. So that's a little funny story about me. Just imagine somebody walking in and reaching for their eyes like they got on the shade trying to take them off. Yeah.
Well, I got one. One, and we all know I'm totally blind also. And so one day when I was a teenager and I was dating this girl, not gonna call her name, and I ended up marrying her. But anyway, and she was out of town, and I was up. My grandma, I was at my house, and my grandma's house was down the road, and I knew how to walk from my house to my grandma's house. And so they yelled at the road, and they called my name, and they said the person on the phone I hadn't heard from in a while. And I got so excited that I was gonna run down there and answer the phone. So I took off running when I supposed to usually just walk. So I just took off running, and I forgot that when you get to this tree, you gotta turn. And I didn't turn, and I ran slap into the tree and fell back down. And it knocked me out, and I got up. And I ran down there, and I talked to her, and then I went out to the ice cream truck, and the ice cream man said, "You must have been in a bar fight, because my face was
Mm.
all busted up." But I guess I was just in love and wanted to, you know. So funny story. Y'all got any funny story about yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Or
Mackenzie,
yeah.
huh?
give me a funny story about you. Or you can give me a funny story about Miracle, and then Miracle can give you a funny story about Mackenzie.
I can give you a funny story about Mackenzie.
Okay, this gonna
Okay.
be interesting. Go ahead.
Okay.
So we were at our church, and it was our old church, and it was a brick wall, like a brick wall thingy, and she was running, and she ran slap into the wall, and she hit her face on the wall.
Oh, that ain't funny.
Oh, so you
And
ran
one
to the
about
wall,
me,
Mackenzie?
Was she all right?
Yeah, I was
um,
okay. After a couple minutes.
So
Yeah.
you saw the wall, didn't you?
Uh-uh.
Oh, okay. All right. Next time, wipe your glasses off.
Oh,
She mama
And I
running
got
from
one
something.
about me.
Okay.
Go
So
ahead.
at the school I go to, LaGrange High, I was in ninth grade, and I was walking up the steps, and it was people in front of me. So I wasn't paying attention. I had my headphones in,
Mm,
and I walk up the steps, and I had missed the other steps, so I like fell face first on the floor, and then people were laughing at me.
mm.
Mm. Yeah, we all had them funny moments.
Yeah. So we all that shows that we all have common things in life.
Oh,
And
oh, I got I got one more. All right,
okay,
so
go ahead.
I'm eating in the cafeteria, and I mean, it's a dude. It was a dude I joke with all the time. You know what I'm saying? I get him pretty good, so he got me pretty good this time. So we eating in the cafeteria. Oh, so we eating in the cafeteria, and I done ate all my food on the tray, but I still full. So I asked him. I said, I said, you want your cake? And he said, nah, nah, you can have the cake. Go ahead and get it. So I went and reached where I thought the cake. I'm still blind. I reached in where I thought was the cake, uh, and I stuck my hand in some milk. And
Uh,
I said, man, what is this, man? You done made me stick my hand in some milk. Everybody just laughing at me. That's the last funny joke I got about it. Oh, I think I embarrassed myself too much.
So before we go, any final thoughts? Anything y'all want to say? Anything you want people to know about you? Just we'll give you a couple minutes to just talk freely.
um, people, well, people with disabilities are normal, and people who have disabilities and have children can take care of their children. They can provide for them well. They can feed them, make sure they have a house, and and they can have a normal life.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
What are y'all goals after completing school? What kind of career y'all want to pursue? Or
I
do
want
y'all
to be in the music industry.
an artist or a producer?
A artist.
Okay.
So who's your favorite artist?
Um, Lisa Left Eye Lopez from the '90s group TLC.
Mm, so tell us something interesting about Lisa Lopez and your experience.
Um, uh, if you don't know her, she is the rapper in the group TLC. They started back in 1992. They came out with 5 albums, three in the '90s, one in 2000, and one, yeah, two in 2000. She ended up dying in 2002 in a car crash, and so I think it was June 15th, 2021. I got to go up to her um headstone little memorial thing they have up in Atlanta. And I went up there and I took some pictures, and it was a great experience.
And you did that with your parents?
And I I rapped a few of her songs up there, and it was just a great experience overall.
Okay, that sounds interesting. You know, my I wish at that time I could go to the grave of my favorite entertainer. He's also dead, Tupac. So you know, and I'm a Tupac fanatic. I know how you feel. All right, Mackenzie, who's your favorite artist, entertainer,
Um, I don't really have.
or what? I think his first question was what you want to do out of school. I'm sorry.
Um, After I get done with school, I say I want to go to the teaching field. I would say.
Okay, we need some good teachers.
They make
Hmm.
like 4,000 every month. So,
Yeah.
mhm. All right. Well, we think you know. I'm gonna let Caber do it. He's the lead host.
Okay, we thank y'all, young ladies, for joining us. It's been very fun and entertaining, and we thank you for your input on letting people know that people who are blind or have challenges or disabilities can have a can be normal parents, can have families, and treat their family well and be provided for their for themselves and their kids. And you are witnesses and testimonies that it could be done. So we thank you for letting that helping us with the information. So somebody out there who are thinking about having kids or on the fence, now they can know that it's possible that parents of challenges and disability can have kids and be a family and uh, and let everybody know that everything's just it's just normal, everything fine. And we appreciate y'all for joining us on Civilized Eyes Podcast. And we'll turn it back over to Darian for our final words. And we thank y'all. God bless y'all.
Thank you. All right. Well, well, we are a newly established podcast. You can find us by going to YouTube and typing in the search edit box Civilized Eyes Podcast. Then our YouTube channel will pull up, and it's just Civilized Eyes. We got about 12 subscribers. We want you all to help us build our subscribers. And also, when you subscribe, we want you to hit that. Turn on your notifications for it. So every time we upload a live video or go live, you can be a part of that and get informed. And, just continue to share it. So we thank y'all again for joining and watching. Uh, what else? It was something else I was gonna say. Um, if you need to get in contact with us, you can email us at civilized eyes podcast at gmail.com, and also we have a cash app uh, that you can send funds to in order to help us expand over the web, on things like getting a website and uh, having like an informational web page where people can go to and a list of all our podcasts and everything like that to basically advance the eyes of the public to get them informed and aware of the blind and blind related subjects, and not limited to those items, but to fill them with the urge to participate and bring up this awareness, because a lot of people do not understand disability uh, to the depths, which would be a great help in socializing and integrating all people in public things, including the disabled. All right, that's Civilized Eyes.